Structural devices in English, something many students struggle with. Watch until the end to have a better understanding of what structure is in GCSE English. Is this something you struggle with? There are many students who struggle with understanding structure and also identifying the difference between language and structure. So what I aim to do in this video is go over the key structural devices with the definitions and how you can find them in your exam paper. So starting off with the first device or the first structural device, we have a simple sentence. This is a sentence which contains one clause with a subject and a verb. So in terms of structure, if you were to look at an extract, think about what is the simple sentence suggesting and how does that interest the reader, because there must be some significance to it. The second one, so by the way, this is the first one, a simple sentence. The second structural device is a compound sentence. Now, again, these are just brief definitions, but obviously I'll elaborate on it. And if you want, you can make a note of it in preparation for your exams. Now, a compound sentence, the word compound you've come across before, to those of you who study science. Compound sentence, it contains two independent clauses that are related and joined with a conjunction. Now, if you go back to year 6 SATs, what is a conjunction? A conjunction is a word which literally joins two clauses together, okay? So that's a compound sentence. You'd know a sentence is a compound sentence because of the conjunction. The third one, we have a complex sentence. Again, I'm sure this one you've heard of previously. It contains one or more subordinate clause. Now, what is a subordinate clause? It's the part of the sentence which does not make sense on its own. An impact sentence or a fragment, it contains 3 or less words. Think about it in terms of structure in your GCSE English. Why do you think the writer would use something like this? Okay, simple terms, right? It can be used to shift the focus. It can be used to build tension. And then we have repetition. You've heard of repetition before. Very common. One of those devices that you come across multiple times. It's a word or phrase that is used more than once. Okay, now remember, in terms of structure, if a particular idea is repeated, then that can come under repetition, whereas for language, repetition is the specific words that are repeated throughout, and when you're analyzing the effect of using that word. And then we have triple or triplets, whatever you want to call it, 3 adjectives or phrases used to describe something. Okay, this one's quite straightforward. Then we've got juxtaposition, an interesting one. You may use this in your creative writing. In simple terms, 2 things placed together to highlight the contrast between them. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you're reading an extract and you have characters who are inside a bus, it's raining outside. There's torrential rain, there's thunder, there's lightning. The clouds are grey, it's murky, and it seems like it's just a dull and depressing atmosphere. Whereas inside the coach or inside the bus, people are, you mean the passengers? Well, I mean the passengers, they are having a blast. They are laughing, they are giggling, they are cackling. Everyone is enjoying their time. Now, is that juxtaposition? The answer is yes, because there's a contrast. Outside versus inside. Outside depressing, inside happiness. Outside cold, hostile, inside peaceful and hysteric. So these are some differences for you to remember when looking at juxtaposition. And then we've got anaphora. Okay, anaphora is the repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of a successive clause. And then you've got listing. So listing is a number of connected items written one after another to emphasize a particular quality. Links between paragraphs is a recurring idea, character or object. Okay, or object in 2 or more paragraphs to foreground the importance. Shift in focus, we see that so many times. So how does the writer shift the focus? The change of focus in or between the paragraphs, to the shift from the inside to the outside, meaning in terms of the setting, in terms of the location, or is there a shift in feelings? So their internal thoughts to their their external thoughts, like what they say through dialogue. Zooming in, zooming out, I've covered this before in a video. So that is the narrowing or widening of the narrative focus. So do they zoom in on a specific character by going into the detailed descriptions? Chronological structure, very important. Chronological structure is basically anything arranged in the order of time. How does it make it interesting for the audience? Flashback, flash forward, also known as a analepsis or a prolepsis, is set earlier or later than the main narrative. Links between the beginning and ending, a narrative link between the start and end of a text. The exposition, again, key term for you to remember, is the introduction of background information on characters, events, or settings to help anchor the reader. The climax is the most intense point in the development of the narrative. Narrative voice is the comment on or commentary on first, second, or third person. Direct speech, okay, is the speech of a character in dialogue. Tense, is it written in past tense, present, or future? If so, if there's a shift in tense, how is that interesting? How does that interest the reader? Then we've got foreshadowing. Foreshadowing or foreshadow is an advance hint of what is to come later. There's also another one called foreboding or forebode. That's basically when you hint something bad will happen later on in the future. So these are all the structural devices you need. Sorry, I forgot to highlight this one as well. So these are all the structural devices you need for your English exams for GCSEs. And also, these are devices that you all can use regardless of your exam board for your English exams, which are fast approaching. So I hope you found this beneficial. I hope this video has given you all a better understanding of what structure is, and then you can use this in preparation for your exams. Now, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Easy Education London on Instagram and TikTok, where we will be uploading regular content, and we are going to be going live on YouTube. So do make sure your bell notifications are on and you're subscribed and you share the channel with your friends. I would like to thank you all for your continuous support. I do highly appreciate it. If you did make it until the end, or if you did watch it until the end, please comment road to 10k so that I know you stayed until the end. And that is it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you took something beneficial from this video. And even if it's one thing, it's better than nothing, and at least it allows you to have a better insight in terms of what structure is. So that is it for today. Thank you very much, and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Easy Education London. Thank you for watching.